And we are live, Liverpool, post-match reaction to the 4-0 thrashing of Southampton this afternoon. I was going to say this evening, this afternoon. I'm joined by Neil and Neil. I'll start with you, Neil. What do you think of the results?
Yeah, it was very good. 2 consecutive 4-0 victories at home. Got the job done. I think there was a few moments where it was a bit... we relied on Alisson probably more than we should have done. But if someone would have said before the game, 4 goals, clean sheet, and no injuries, fingers crossed, we'd have all been delighted, I'm sure. So, yeah, good. Just got to get the job done at the moment. Loads of games coming up and move on to the next one.
What, you, Anthony? Enjoy the game?
Yeah, it was one of those matches where you just know we're going to win beforehand. And obviously, best thing that no injuries came from it. And we actually have options available now, so we can bring Chamberlain on. Who else do we bring on? Minamino towards the end, so good to rest the key players.
And they made an impact when they came on as well, to be fair. The Ox looked good, Minamino looked good. It's good to see someone like Tahi and the Ox to an extent getting that bit of form in the minutes they've got, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought the Ox looked quite determined when he come on. He was. I suspect he was a bit hacked off to have been left out because he's been playing really well. I think. Yeah. I think the more game time he's had and the run of games that he's had, he's got better and better. So he's probably a bit fed up. Whether he'll play on Wednesday or not it remains to be seen. But yeah, they look hungry when they come on, which is good. And I think you've only got to look at the left back situation to see the benefit of that competition, because Tsimikas has been outstanding and it's really pushed Robbo, and he looked back to his old self today, which was good as well.
Touching on Robbo, I thought he looked fantastic when he came on midweek as well. And then today, it was literally like the old Robbo again. He was phenomenal. All his balls, all his pressing ability. He was absolutely out of this world. Do you think it's a mixture of how good Tahi's been? He knows he needs to up his game, because Klopp did say in his presser before the game that no matter how bad Robbo plays, he will start. Or do you think it's more maybe the fans? He's been reading the social media about fans calling for Kostas, and then that's making him know he's got to up his game, so to speak. I'll start with you, Anthony.
I don't think Robertson's been anywhere near as bad as like what people have been saying. They're like, oh, he should be dropped every single match now. Tsimikas should start, but you can see he's definitely kind of changed. Like, we weren't seeing these forward runs as much as we were maybe last season. I think he weren't average, but maybe just slightly above. But he looked back to his best. Obviously, got the assist to who was it, Jota, in the first couple of minutes, and he just looked good all match. He was running up and down the pitch easily, and he could have got another assist with Jota towards the end, but obviously he missed the open goal.
Yeah, I know, like, you're supposed to comment there. If you are on Twitter or Facebook, join us on YouTube and you can get your comments in and interact with the stream. So, Neil, was there any standout performers for you then other than Andy Robbo?
He was one. I think Jota was another. I think he looked really, really sharp. Obviously, he got the 2 goals. Was a bit unlucky not to get the hat trick. Virgil was himself, and of course Alisson as well. As I say, I think he made 2 or 3 really good saves from one-on-one situations, and he's done that a lot this season. I know he had the bad game against West Ham, but he's pulled off a hell of a lot of saves when teams have got him 1v1. So yeah, I'd say Alisson, Virgil, and Jota for me.
Anyone stood out for you, Anthony?
You know what? Fabinho and Thiago, those 2 in the midfield are just something else. It's like nothing will ever get past them. Fabinho especially. It's like he could just disappear on the pitch, and then when another team on the counter-attack, he'll just pop out of nowhere and get the ball back for us. He done it. Did you see the chase him and Adam Armstrong had to obviously clear the ball eventually? But stuff like that, it's just as needed. Whereas we were seeing Fabinho in centre-back last season, and it's obviously a shambles, but him and Thiago in the midfield is just exactly what we need, basically.
See, I agree with you. I think they've been brilliant, and even that run the last 10 games of last season, those 2 together were outstanding, and one of the main reasons why we ended up finishing 3rd. My only thing with Thiago is, and he's a wonderful player, he scored a cracking goal on Wednesday, another goal today. He's a bit casual at times. and at times he is a bit loose in possession. And I think maybe that's the way he is, and you have to accept that's part of his game. So today, at times I just thought he was a little bit casual, a little bit overconfident, and puts us into difficult situations. And I've seen it in other games as well. That's not to say he's not a brilliant player, but it's just something that we may have to accept that is part of his game and the way he plays.
With Thiago, it's some of his movements on the ball it's unbelievable. Some of the turns he had, and it's like the ball stuck to his feet like glue. There was a chance about the 48th minute, 49th minute, and he just completely turned one of their players. And you didn't expect him to make that turn, but he'd done it. So it's like he's 10 steps ahead of everyone else on the field, and that's where he gets the levels with the rest title from. Because in the past 2 games, he does look as though we've got that Thiago that we all hoped for, though he is a bit loose sometimes. I do think we have got the one we all hoped we'd have. And that combination, like Anthony said, of Fabinho and Thiago, I don't think we've lost a game, have we? Or we haven't conceded when they've played. And Fabinho, for me, he's as important as Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah. I thought he might be one that got subbed off with sort of 10 or 15 minutes to go, because he's prone to the odd muscle injury himself, isn't he? So he's going to have to look after him over the next few weeks as well. Just on Thiago, as I say, he does worry me when he is a bit loose in possession, but some of his incisive passing, and it's forward passing, and I think people have different opinions about Gini Wijnaldum. I was a big fan of Wijnaldum and how strong and good he was at holding the ball, but it was always very safe. This guy, he's getting on the ball, and the he's passing the ball forward, and it's incisive, and it just gets us on the attack so much quicker, and it's a joy to watch at times.
That was the 18th game that Liverpool scored 2+ goals in a game, which is now equal the record. So if we do that against Everton, that means we break the record. So it's just another record for Klopp's side. 701 goals we've scored under him now. It's our attack and play. I feel as though this season is better than the season when we won the league.
Yeah.
We've got the top 3 goal scorers as well, haven't we? Salah's on 11, Mane and Jota both on 7. And even Firmino, obviously he's not played as many games because he's been injured, but he seemed to have found his scoring beats as well. So it's good to see.
It's very gung-ho. It really is gung-ho. It's all-out attack, and it's brilliant to watch. And like I hear other fans moan about their teams and they play sort of cautious, negative football. And I don't think anything like that. I absolutely love the way we just go for it, and it's been a joy to watch this season. And I think you're right. Probably it's more attacking than during the title year. So great stuff.
I want to touch on Konate. A few people at the ground today seemed a little bit disappointed with him, but I don't think he played too bad, to be honest. We've got to remember he's still young. He's gelling into the side. He's coming into partner, arguably one of the greatest centre-backs to ever play the game of football. And I don't think he done bad. He had that one mistake where he headed it back and nearly set them in. But other than that, I think Konate, when he's played for Liverpool, has been seamless for us. I don't know what you two think.
Go on, Anthony. I've got some views. You go ahead with yours.
I think he's obviously going to be prone to the odd mistake. It's his first time, first season in the new country and everything. So he has to get used to the kind of pace of it compared to the Bundesliga. But I don't think he's been anywhere near as bad. Like, there were some journalists making reports about him after the match against Porto, was it, where we got a clean sheet. And we got a clean sheet again today, so I don't think we can be too critical of him. I think he's done very well. And he's allowed mistakes, especially after the 5-0 against Man United. He could do whatever he wants.
Yeah, and I think the other thing we've got to look at is we kept a clean sheet on Wednesday. We've kept a clean sheet today with him in the team. So I think sometimes criticism of players that don't play on a regular basis is unfair. A few weeks ago, people were on Oxlade-Chamberlain's case, and he hadn't played and he was being thrown on for 10-15 minutes and everyone was moaning, saying, he's not delivering. Now he's had a run of in the team, people are thinking he should play. So Konate's been in and out. He's still learning his trade. Wednesday he played on the left side of the central two because Van Dijk didn't play. Today he's played on the right side. So again, that's an adjustment that he has to make. I thought he was better today than he was on Wednesday, and again will be another one that benefits from playing regular football. And I think over the next few weeks he'll probably get rotated quite a lot with Matip and Van Dijk in the Champions League game and the Leicester game in the Carabao Cup.
Touch on, I know Charlie's the admin on the comments. He said about Trent sold him out with the throw. I'd agree with that because people are going to pinpoint that little mistake on Canate, but it was a really, really poor throw from Trent. So then there's not much more he can do. And like I said, I think he's been solid whenever he's being called upon. And I think it shows how much Klopp thinks of him as well. The fact he's given 2 consecutive starts ahead of Matip again today. Next to Van Dijk, and it makes me think if he carries on that partnership with Van Dijk, he's going to be the starting centre back.
Yeah,
because I feel like Gomez is further down the pecking order right now than Canate and Matip.
Yeah, it certainly feels like Gomez is number 4 at the moment. So, yeah, I think he's got confidence in him. He threw him in against Man United as well, didn't he? In that game, so he's got everything as a defender. He's got everything you need, and a dodgy throw from Trent, windy conditions. I think if you're going to make mistakes, do it in games where you win and keep clean sheets. Everyone forgets about it by tomorrow.
Has he even conceded a goal when he started, Canate?
Costas hasn't. I know that.
I think against Crystal Palace. Actually, we could play Crystal Palace.
No, it was 3-0. I was there that day. I think that was 3-0.
We conceded against someone. I can't remember who though.
But I think it's only 1 or 2 goals, isn't it? In about 5.
He's got a good record.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you get with Van Dijk in it? Like, I think I saw a stat. Matip's played more matches this season than he has in the past 2 combined as well. So it's good to see like fitness issues just going away. Obviously, Gomez is still injured, but hopefully not for a long time. But where do you obviously I'm not the host, sorry, Matty, just questioning you guys. But what do you think about Gomez's future then at Liverpool? Like, surely he's good enough to start, but obviously he's not going to start with Canate and Matip. So what do you think about that?
Go on, mate.
We've been rumoured to be after the Barcelona centre-back today as well, haven't we? And it's a really reliable source. So I do think if he came in, I could see Matip or Gomez leaving. And it's mad to say that because Gomez is probably one of my favourite players to have played for Liverpool in recent years. I think he was vital for us winning the league 2 years ago. And I do really like him, but it's how much he comes back from this injury. Like his injury was a hell of a lot worse than Van Dijk's. So I think he probably is still finding his fitness, but then he's going to get frustrated. He knows he's good enough to start for the other 19 teams in this league. He can walk into any other side. So if he's not getting games, will he get frustrated and want to leave? He's still only young. He's won it all at Liverpool. Maybe he goes abroad, goes to someone like your PSGs or your even like Real Madrid or Barcelona. He could probably go to any of the top sides in Europe and start. So I think if he did leave, it'd be on his terms because I don't think Liverpool would sell him because he's such an asset. But I'd be gutted to see him go myself.
Yeah, I would be as well because him and Van Dijk during the Premier League winning year were, as you say, were outstanding. It's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, he needs to be eased back in, and he was being eased back in. He played a couple of Champions League games. He played in the Carabao Cup. And now he's picked up a niggle, I think, in his groin, which is quite common after coming back from such a long-term injury. But assuming that Matip and Canate stay fit, I think he's got a real battle on his hands to get a starting place in the team. To be honest, there'd been rumours for a year or two, hadn't there, that Klopp was looking for a different starting centre-back to play alongside Van Dijk. So whether they're not happy with Gomez, I doubt that's the case, but I wouldn't want him to go. He's still young. I think he's only 24. He's a homegrown player, which is obviously important. But as you say, being linked with the Barcelona lad, I think it's I'll get his pronunciation wrong, I'm sure. Arejo, the Uruguayan fella, the centre-back, Ronald Arejo. We also keep getting linked with Gleison Bremer from Torino as well, who's another younger Brazilian centre-back. So it does look like we might be trying to refresh our options, and that would point you towards Matip or Gomez. So, yeah.
I don't know don't know about you, but it's very frustrating seeing us linked with centre backs when we know that Salah and Mane are going to the AFCON in January. I think it should be attacks we should be getting linked with.
See, that's another situation. I mean, that situation. I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and I was saying that I'd like to think we've got someone ready to come in January the 1st, and then I'm thinking, really, this should have been dealt with before, because you never know with a new signing, assuming that we make a new signing at the start of January, whether they're going to hit the ground running. And if we don't make a signing, we lose our two main goal scorers. All right, Jota's drawn level with Sadio today, but we're left with Bobby, Jota, Taki, and Divock, who, two of those starting you're fine with. Two of them, you don't really see them as starting options. So it's a big worry for me that we're gonna go from a free scoring side to one that's going to find it difficult to get goals in January.
The only thing I think is maybe if Elliott's on the verge of going to be back in January because he can play on the right. Because it does feel as though we've got a lot of faith in Harvey Elliott. And obviously Curtis Jones can fill in the midfield where Elliott has been playing.
Yeah.
But then
and he can play left as well, Curtis, can't he? I think he used to play there for the under-23. So there's option. I mean, even Knox can do a job there, but we're losing the best player, on the planet at the moment, and someone who's showing signs that he's getting back to his very best. The two main goal scorers. So we need someone, I think.
I'm the best player on the planet. How do you think he done today? He's allowed an off day, and I do think he had one today. I'll start with you, Anthony. How do you think Mo done today?
I was telling my mum earlier, it's so funny, isn't it? Like, we always see Salah switch kind of like towards the end of the match where he wants his goal that bad, he'll just be greedy with it, and he won't pass to anyone. But I don't think he was horrific, but we expected more from him basically today. Like, he was getting tackled quite easily, trying to take players on, but he allowed an off day.
Yeah, and I think, again, if you're going to have an off day, do it in a game where the team wins 4-0 and other players are scoring. So he looked sharp, but he didn't have as much success in the final third that he's been having. And we did start to see the greedier Mo Salah as it got towards the end of the game. But yeah, have an off day when your team win 4-0.
And he still got an assist on an
he
off
did.
day.
Yeah. And I think that's an underrated part of his game, isn't it? Because everyone talks about the goals, but he's got a number of assists now. Again,
he's got the most assists in the league.
Yeah. So it doesn't get spoken about enough. But the effort was there, as it always is with him. It's just the quality wasn't there in the final third.
That's one thing I am made up with Salah this year, because for me, Mohamed Salah is one of the best attackers in the world. And he has been for the past 5 seasons. But it's just always been his greed. That's always been my little gripe with him. But this season, he just seems like a more all-round player, doesn't he? Like, being the top assist in the league this season. He's squaring the ball more for players when he would usually cut inside and take it on and try and curl it top in. So he has added the assist to his game this season. Do you think that's something he's been working on? Or do you think he knows that he needs to just round his game out more?
I think he's just a winner, isn't it? He's just got that kind of elite mentality to kind of always improve. That's why I've always said Mane is better than Salah, but because Mane always cares, I think he puts the team first. So he'd always track back and defend, whereas we'd see Salah kind of hanging up the pitch when Mane's doing that. But it's kind of like, it's not switched around, but Salah's added that to his game as well now, so which has made him an even better player. So it's good to see.
I think something's gone on in the background. Someone, said to him, if you want to take your game to the next level, you need to consider doing different things in these situations. Whatever it is, the great thing about it is he's up that, he's become a little bit less selfish, but he's scoring just as many goals, if not more, and he's also creating goals. So it's kind of a win-win. Whatever's happened, whether it's just him making a mental adjustment or the way he's spoken to by his manager, or with Sadio, it's worked because there's goals and there's assists. So him being a little less selfish has meant that he's been turned into a better player and getting better numbers in terms of goal scoring anyway.
Speaking of goals, that was our them 4 goals put us on to 39 goals for the season in 13 games. How many goals do you think we could be in this season? Considering there's 20
25 left.
25 left. How many goals do you reckon we could be hitting? How many goals should we be expecting to hit with numbers like that?
How many goals have we got at the moment? You said 43.
39 in 13 games. That's just in the Prem as well. I think it's about 60 odd in all competitions.
It's easily 100 we could aim for, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I think 100 needs to be the first sort of point to aim for. I mean, we're averaging 3 goals a game at the moment. Whether we can continue to do that remains to be seen. But with 25 games left, need another 60 odd goals. A couple of goals a game, I can see. So 100 seems reasonable.
Do you think Salah can break his record this year?
So he's on 17 at the moment. We've got 40. Was it 42? 40, I remember. It was just over 40, wasn't it? It depends how much football he misses. I think depends how much football he misses in January. If he's away for 5 weeks, no. If Egypt don't do particularly well, then possibly. I think in his mind, he wants to have a go for it, but we'll have to see. See, it used to be, Ronaldo and Messi. You used to look at it and think, oh, they're getting 40, 50 goals a season, and now we've got someone that looks like he can do that as well, which is great.
I think with the AFCON, the one who will be missing longer is probably Sadio Mane, because I feel like Senegal will probably go further in the competition than Egypt. Egypt haven't got as good a squad as Senegal. They've got Mo Salah, he is the best African in that tournament.
Yeah.
But he can't do it all on his own. So I think it's Mane we're missing more. Like you said, Anthony, you think he's better than Salah. Do you think he's more of a miss, though, than Salah if he's gone for the full 5 weeks?
I didn't say I said he used to be better than Salah. Don't throw me into the bus there. But he's just as big a miss, I think. Maybe not obviously as equal because Salah gets more goals, but it's just if Firmino and Jota can stay fit, then I don't think there's an issue. But if one of them gets injured, then we literally got no one else playing that left wing spot. Origi's not nowhere near as good as enough, and I like Minamino, but he's not good enough either.
Yeah, I like Taki. I do like Taki, but I agree. I think he's more of a squad option. But Jota, being a revelation. What's the feeling like down in Wolverhampton, Anthony? What do the Wolves fans feel like losing someone and he's come to Liverpool and ended up being this good?
You know what? Because at first of all, like, oh, we robbed you 45 million, but now they're just like, why did we get rid of Jota for? We needed that forward to score our goals. I don't think they're doing that bad now. I mean, they're due to Norwich 0-0, but there's still regrets here, obviously.
He is phenomenal, though, isn't he, Neil?
Yeah, he is, and I think at the time, I think we had a free run at him, and I think Liverpool was surprised they had a free run at him. And I think because he played in quite a cautious, negative Wolves team, managed by Nuno Espirito Santo, no one really could see the potential he had. I'm sure we all looked at him and thought, yeah, he looks a decent player, but I don't think anyone expected him to do the things that he's done since he's joined. So it's difficult to judge when you take a player from a club like Wolves who did well under Nuno, and that's no disrespect to him, but because they were kind of a negative team, you didn't really see him flourish as much as he's starting to do in this team now.
I think I'm not the only fan who, when we got him, was fuming because we spent the same money that Werner cost. I think everyone was after Werner, and every single fan, myself included, has probably had their own words because Joss has been an absolute revelation at Liverpool, where Werner's probably not been what we all expected him to be when he's at the Premier League. I still think
I'd still look at Werner and think at some point he's gonna explode, and it's gonna happen for him because he's a good player.
Yeah,
but I think Jota just looks more composed and far better in front of the goal at the moment. It may come for Werner. It may come, but I think
Werner's like Mane, like last season. He gets all in like all the right positions and everything, but his finishing is just dreadful. Whereas Jota is just he came in straight away, and like as soon as he played against Arsenal, he fitted perfectly with Salah, Mane, and Firmino. Yeah. So that's what we needed. And obviously, I don't think looking back, obviously Werner was probably the wrong option to go for, but it would have been. It's strange, like knowing we'd never know how it would have been had we had Werner instead of Jota.
Werner under Klopp might have been different. You never know. I think a lot of it with him was just
Chelsea now, aren't they? Like they've only conceded 4 goals all season. Yeah. They are very defensive minded, so I think he's in the wrong side to show just how good he can be. I think we've seen how good he can be at Leipzig, and I do think he's probably in the wrong team. Although Chelsea are looking probably like our biggest rivals for the league this year, I do think Werner's in the wrong team to show just how good he can be.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a bit more economical and a bit more efficient than us that just go for it. And City are a bit similar to us in a way, aren't they? But Chelsea are a bit more pragmatic.
Yeah. Before we start wrapping up, we'll have a little quick look ahead to the next game, which is the Merseyside derby. I'll start with you, Anthony. What's your thoughts going into the game? Can Rafa pull off a masterclass? They're on a bad run of form. But if they do get beat, I feel like that's when the boos are going to start coming out and they're going to start calling for his head. How do you think it's going to go?
I'm not trying to be reactionary here, but I think it's going to be like another how when we played Man United at Old Trafford. I think we're just going to batter them 5, maybe not 5-0, but similar scoreline basically. They're nowhere near good enough to compete with us. I know we've said that over the seasons and we've only got like 0-0s and 1-1s against them, but we're here for revenge. Van Dijk's art this match.
What about you, Neil?
Yeah, I think we'll win. I think it could be comfortable. I think they've got a lot of problems at the moment with injuries. I think Doucouré is out long term. Calvert-Lewin's been out forever. So I fancy us as long as we continue to attack. If I remember rightly, during 2018, 2019, when we got the 97 points, we played quite a cautious game at Goodison Park to draw 0-0, and ultimately that was one of the results that probably cost us. So, as long as we carry on in the same vein, I could see us winning 3-1, and Rafa being put under quite a lot of pressure, which he'll do well for them. But I think they're in a really difficult situation with financial fair play and injuries at the moment. So it's going to be a long road for them.
I wish I was as confident as you for the derby. It feels as though all form goes out the window when we play them. I'm confident we'll win, but I think it's going to be more like a 1-0 or a 2-1, like one of them horrible derby games where the game just doesn't get going. And I'll be honest, I miss them derbies when like your Steven Gerrard derbies and Carragher derbies where they were flying in for tackles. Like that's what the derby was all about for me. But I'm not confident it'll be comfortable. But I'm confident of a win. I don't want it, to be honest, part of me doesn't want it to be like a 5-0, 6-0. As much as that would be amazing, I feel as though that would put a lot of pressure on Rafa. And as much as him going to Everton pained me, I still love the man.
Yeah.
If it's against Aston Villa, like against Gerrard, I don't want to win 5-0, but I don't really care. Is it Everton? You have to be 5-0.
I mean, I'd take a 5-0. Don't get me wrong. I'd take a 5-0 against them just for the next 4 or 5 minutes.
They're not going to get a better manager than him.
No.
So they've got to look longer term because, as I say, they've got. I don't think they can spend any money. He's had to bring in. He's done really well. The players that he's brought in, Damari Gray, Townsend, terrible injuries. They just got to look long term with him because he's a quality manager. I don't hold anything against him for going there. He was told to go by Liverpool. He lives in the city. Why shouldn't he look to take a job close to his home? So good luck to Rafa, but after Wednesday.
Yeah, nice one for Neil and Anthony for joining us. We will be back for a preview stream before the Everton game, delving deeper into that. Speaking of Rafa, thoughts towards it and maybe even a watch along as well. But nice one, Neil. Nice one, Anthony, for joining us. And everyone who's been tuned in, don't forget to head over to the YouTube and click the subscribe button so you can be notified every time we go live and get involved with the streams over on there as well. Yeah, nice one.
Cheers, mate.